CFB, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Right now, just at Nightcliff foreshore. Yeah. Hopefully everything is looking okay. I forgot to charge my chat phone, so hence why it's plugged in. Let's see here. Delete. Okay, let's now. Oh, how do we do this? It's fine. Lock. Okay, so let's have a look. 1, 2. We need to find a table so I can set up everything. But the only table that I can see that's close by might be occupied, because we do want to see the sun setting as well. Oh, I see a table there that might be empty. So let's go there now. So I made some adjustments to the DJI gimbal for for balancing right. So let's see. So we might not be able to see this because of how wide. There's a couple of people there sitting on the edge of the rocks. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I do see a table there, so I might just set up there. It'll be easier that way. I wonder if there's a way to redo some of the fucking joystick controls, because when I push down, the camera goes up. To the to this Wi-Fi in order to share its internet connection by Moblin. I'm pretty sure I've got Moblin installed. Let's have a look. Oh, that's not it. So that's wrong. Right, we are connected. Be active. So I'm not sure what's wrong with that one. Let's have a quick look. Yeah. Okay. So just have to double check that. Right now that we have that connected, we can connect Moblin in. Right, so now we should have 3 connections. We've got one Wi-Fi, one black. Okay, we don't have ones from this. Just checking the Wi-Fi. Yep, that's connected. Moblin. Andrew, welcome in, hacker man. Oh shit! Thank you for the sub. Welcome back in. Let's see. Let's just call this one red, and then start. All right. We should now have 3 internet connections. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. So what you're seeing right now is the Action 4. Let me re-engage the tracking. Right, so now you should have tracking on the Action 4 with you brought the wrong Sony. Ooh. Okay, what did you buy? Oh man, what did you buy? 100V. Ah, okay. It's for a stationary cam, which it can do 4K, and yeah, I think it's okay. But I mean, for actual like IRL stuff, it doesn't have the greatest stability or stabilization inside of it. So yeah, the X3000 might be the better configuration for that. And I've just realized that how bumpy this table is. So let me re-engage. Oh shit. 1, 2. Right, so I've got tracking enabled. So this is the Action 4 connected to the DJI Mobile 7P, and we have tracking. One of the other issues that I've had is after a certain period of time, the tilt motor decides to just give way and just let the entire camera fall. It's still connected, but unfortunately, I've had to keep resetting the gimbal's alignment, so that might not be great. But yeah, all right, cool. We've got 3 connections, cool. All right. So I have a item I want to show. So I want to connect a HDMI camera to the Moblin system. Or a dead cat. Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. True. So I might put you maybe on here, because the table is way too wobbly. All right, I've just lowered the positioning, increased it, lowered. Okay. So we should still have tracking enabled. Good. Right. Well, we might keep. No, we can't really turn much. Oh, well, tracking's off, so we can manually adjust this way. Down. Wrong way. Okay, so I have a bag here. The weather is actually quite good, considering it's normally hot as balls here. It's very windy. The weather is actually quite lower than what it's actually stating in that measurement. But okay, so here we have a handle that opens up to a tripod feet. Here we have the Sony A6300 with a 18-105 f4 lens in a small rig metal cage with a top handle and a side handle. So that makes everything quite firm. Next is we'll attach a side handle on the right side of the camera. and we'll just use that. I don't have this. This is an older camera, so it doesn't use the NATO rails style setup. So everything will have to be screwed in. I'm just using this Allen key to just tighten everything down. All right, we'll tuck that Allen key on the base of this handle because it's where it actually fits. Now we will get this contraption. So here I have a Samsung S10, it's an Android phone. In the middle here is a video capture device. This is from J5 Creates. This is the JVA01, and on the back is just a U-Green power bank. And all that, and it looks like I've forgotten a cable. Shit. Right, we'll just use this one. Technology. All right. So what's special about this particular video capture device, it allows pass-through charging. So that way then, when this single USB cable connects to the phone, it also charges the phone as well as bring in the video from the HDMI capture. So now I have that installed. We will now unlock it. I will now connect it to the top handle of this rig. Tighten it down really, really tight. Now to connecting the HDMI cable, that is connected to the output of the A6300. And we connect that to here, and that is essentially the rig. So here again, A6300 with a lens in a solid metal rig mount cage, two handles, HDMI out into a video capture device, which is then being supplied power via this power bank to do pass-through power into the Samsung S10. I will now open up one of my apps that I generally use for this particular setup, and that is USB Camera Pro. It is a paid app on Android, and we'll now enable the capture. I will now turn on the camera, and now we should see the image coming in from the lens on the top screen. It will be very dark because I've forgotten to make the adjustments. Son of a bitch. Oh, yeah, yep. Okay. So that is the image coming in from the camera's lens onto the actual Android's screen. Now I'll use the app to push out an RTMP stream, which will then be sent to the Moblin device. But before I do, I have to double check that this phone is connected to the router that I have in my bag, which it isn't at the moment, so I'll do that manually. Again, this phone doesn't actually have a SIM card, so all right, we have connection to the router. I will now push the RTMP stream from the Android phone to go into the Moblin. Now, as you can see on the very corner of the screen, we should be able to see the incoming feed coming in as well. Although, where's that lens cap? I'll try and adjust. I'll try and get this. I'll go to the optical. Alright, so we've got the maximum optical range of this lens, and if we switch to HDMI, and I'll just turn off the widget for the time being, this is the incoming camera feed of the HDMI camera that is wirelessly transmitting its signal via RTMP to the Moblin app. Now I'm just going to quickly turn the camera around. Now I will also change the feet so that I can get a high positioning on the camera's angle. Unfortunately, this is a static connection to the base. It doesn't have a tilt mechanism, so I might maybe in the future think about getting one of those. And we will use something to prop up the camera. Okay, did that work? That's no better at all. It's no better at all. Can we spin it around one more time? All right, let me switch over to the HDMI camera feed. So now, this right now is the camera view from the A6300 being pushed via the capture card, which is then connected to the smartphone, which is then pushing out an RTMP feed to Moblin app. So if we enable the this camera here, we'll just disconnect that. And 1, 2, 3. Right, so you should be able to see the camera now. So here we have the A6300 with the lens, HDMI out, connected to a capture device, which is then connected to a Android smartphone and running the RTMP camera wirelessly to the Moblin app. 2, 3. All right, let's bring you here. Oh, 1, 2. Down. Okay. So that is how I'm able to bring in a HDMI camera into the Moblin app using these two or 3 items. Now, what I used to use was the this one here. This here is the Axoon M1. It's a very compact device. It has a HDMI in, and then it has 2 DC outs. It has a Type-C out. It has a cold true on the top, as well as a adapter to mount onto a camera, and it has a spring-loaded phone clamp. So essentially, what you would do is connect the phone to this, then you would connect a compatible MPF battery, and that is it. That's all you need in order to run this particular system. Now, what I've found is using this particular device, it detects the incoming video feed at 60 frames per second, which I believe is causing a dropped frame rate every 30 seconds or so when it's sending an RTMP feed to the Moblin app. So that's why it's nice, it's very compact, it's an all-in-one solution, but in terms of what I want to use it for, unfortunately, the frame rate keeps dropping every 30 seconds, which causes about a 5-second skipping on stream. So I've decided not to go with this particular item anymore, even though it's small and compact. I've decided to just build one using existing equipment that I have, and that is using the A6300. If we switch over to here, that is using the A6300, connecting the HDMI output into the capture device, and then using a Android phone to push out the RTMP feed to the Moblin app. If we go and look at, say, the dog, because and then if we go into the sun, which unfortunately all of my settings have been set to not auto. So if we go into function, shutter, we go to program auto, everything should be now automatically adjusted to all right, let's how do we do this? We will center, we will I'm just reattaching the tracking module. We are now tracking, I believe, on the Action 4. And you should see a picture-in-picture of the HDMI camera in frame as well. So if we were to go to, where is that one? If we were to go to this camera, I'm going to stand over here, along with the sunset. And I forgot about one thing as well. On the Android phone that I'm using to push, I forgot about a side-by-side app. So now I have the ability to run the HDMI camera on one side of the app, and then have chat on the other side. So I can still read chat on the one phone that's connected to the setup. Oh, you guys can't see that. All right, here we go. There we go. Oh, King, welcome in. How are you? Yeah, so that is how I'm able to get a HDMI camera feed to go into the Moblin app, as well as be synced to Moblin. So if we go into, let's go here, let's zoom in to the cliff. Serenity. Let's bring it down. Let's go over here. So I may need to look into getting a ball head style tripod to mount onto the base. That way then I can adjust it to what I need at the time for this. Because right now it's literally just a single flat, and that's the only angle that this camera can shoot on, or this camera can view, which I don't think I've got. I'm not even recording. Oh, and there's no memory card. Okay, that's why. All right. Usually when I'm doing stuff, I'll be recording. Can I? All right, I've just. Let's bring it up here. And let's switch over to HDMI. All right, how's that looking? Oh, I'm supposed to look at this camera. How is that looking? I don't have, although the iPhone, it's using Wi-Fi, which is from the Netgear Nighthawk M1. It's using the hotspot from my personal phone, and it's also using the, it's using the hotspot, it's using my personal phone via Moblin, and it's using the chat phone SIM card via Moblin as well. So yeah, everything looks great. Did you guys see any stuttering? Let me switch over to just the HDMI camera. So this is now just the HDMI camera. The microphone is coming in from the Action 4, which is also being piped into Moblin app as well. From my testing last night, I haven't seen any stuttering or frame drops using this particular capture device connected to the A6300, as well as the Samsung S10 phone. So I could show you what I mean by that. All right, yeah, I might do that. Might as well do it live. All right, let's switch over to Action 4. Let's turn off the live push from the HDMI. We'll stop that. All right, we will disconnect this. Oh, I have to eject the device, exit from the app. Now I can unplug, undo. I will remove the phone because that's all I need. That is all I need. Okay, I just need the phone. We'll undo this. We will use the Axoon device. Jazzy, I'm going well. I'm on the beach here on Nightcliff, foreshore. Just testing out some camera equipment. And welcome in, Jazzy. All right, I need this cable. Luckily I brought this cable, otherwise we wouldn't have been able to do things. All right, let me close out of all that. Let me open up my twin apps. And let me also connect in oh, I don't see your message on this phone. Interesting. Yep, okay, it's working. All right, so I have connected the Axoon M1 device instead of my JVA01 capture device. I've connected the Axoon M1 device here, and let me start the stream. RTMP Moblin, and now let me mount it. Have been tempted to buy another camera for doing road traveling streams. Your first message was a 5 stream streak message. Oh, nice. Oh, I wonder why that didn't come up. Yeah, I wonder why that did not come up at all. Sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't see it. I see Andrew's sub, so I appreciate that, Andrew. All right, so I have now connected the Axoon M1 device to the camera. Now I will switch over to the HDMI camera feed, and we'll just watch this. All right. About 30 seconds or so, you'll see a slight frame rate stutter, and then that will last for about 5 seconds, and then it will be smooth again. And then the next 30 seconds, another frame rate stutter will happen. And I'll just add some movement. That way you can kind of see the stutter between the smooth video footage and the frame rate stutter. Yeah, so it happens about every 30-second interval, and it lasts for about 5 seconds, and then it returns back to normal smooth video stream. And I found this when I'm using the Axoon M1 device. Whereas if I'm using the JVA01 from J5 Create device, smooth all the way. No drop frames, no stutter, no frame rate issues. So yeah, I guess this is still useful if you know this happens and chat isn't really concerned about that. So yeah. Right, so now if I pick up the camera and use it as an actual camera and look for some fast motion here, you might be able to detect the parts where it gets choppy video or smooth video. And I believe that is based on the frame rate that this camera is trying to send using the Axoon M1. Right now the camera is detecting, sorry, the app from the USB Camera Pro is detecting the camera feed's input as 60 frames per second. So let me just zoom in, zoom out. I'll just constantly do that. And you can see the shutter or the frame rate changing because it causes quite a bit of stutter. But then literally 5 seconds after that, it's smooth video again. So let's go here. I'll just slowly pan across. And I'll wait for the frame rate to lower. And then you can see it on stream. There we go, it's happened there. And then it'll go back to smooth. Yeah. So that is why I'm no longer utilizing or using